Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. I had to. Crystal. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And no matter how many times we try to defend Crystal, I think we are done with her. Done with her. Down the toilet. I tried, but I can't. All right, guys, before we get into our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap, be sure to like the video. Liking the video is an easy and free way of supporting the channel, but also supporting other channels that recap the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reality TV. Also, check out some of the things that you already missed this week, including a Megan Good story. This morning, we posted a big clapback from Candy versus Marlo situation. So be sure to check out everything that you missed this week, including the visual version of our podcast. That's now available on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to there. And of course, subscribe to the podcast, because that's where you hear the podcast first, and then the visual goes up on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. Shout out to everyone that's already in the live chat. We appreciate you all being here. Russ says, let's rename this live as Let's Drag Crystal. I don't want to drag Crystal, but she's definitely dragging this whole dark scenario out. Girl, what was it? At this point, she's going to have to say it, or she's just going to look like a liar, basically. Shantae says, I never tried to defend her. I knew from the jump she couldn't be trusted. The knee-jerkers over the Reddit felt some kind of way about it. Not Crystal Smollett. Y'all are. Not Crystal Smollett. Oh Trini says, and she backtracked and Watch What Happens Live. I felt like she doubled down on Watch What Happens Live, basically saying that there is more than what Sutton said on the show. Tia says, not sure why white people cannot say that they see color when they know they do. Sutton saw color when her white kids were in the pool with a Black and Asian child. It's sad. Obviously, Sutton sees color. I think a lot of, that term comes from like 80s, 90s, where a lot of white people used to say, I don't see color, but a very perfect example of this played out last season, where they were explaining, if you say you don't see color, you don't see me. Garcelle said that last week. But that's not what Crystal's saying that she's talking about. Crystal's saying something even more dark was said. What was it, Crystal? We want to know. Us people of color want to know before we start defending Sutton. And that's basically what Garcelle is saying. What did she say? That was so dark. I'm not even fighting over her using the term dark. But if she said something dark, what was it? At this point, you have to tell us. Or you should have never brought it up. Why am I agreeing with Kyle this week? Why am I agreeing with Kyle this week? Why am I agreeing with Erica Jane this week? Only on one thing. When Erica Jane called out, what you're saying is that you're alluding, Sutton, that you don't want your character discredited. You don't want to be called a racist. And I'm glad she said it, because so many of these Beverly Hills girls sort of dance around the conversation. I'm glad that Erica just came out and said it. You don't want to be known as racist. Sometimes you just need to say it. All this dancing around, using these imaginary words, dark and no, what? What did she say? As Nene would say, what is it? Oh, goodness. I can't. Destiny says, to me, dark is something crazy, demonic that we as humans should not be saying or doing. Whatever Sutton said was not dark. See, I'm not going to even say it was not dark until she tells us exactly what exactly did you, Crystal, view as dark. Crystal on Watch What Happens Live basically said what Sutton says that she says about the whole pool situation, that's not what she said. Okay, Crystal, what did she what did she say? What did she say? All right, we will get back to this conversation, guys, and you will have an opportunity to call in and share your thoughts on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We're live on multiple platforms. We're live on TikTok. TikTok, we appreciate you all being here. We see you guys. Boston's in the building. I see everyone is in the chat. We see you. We're also live on the Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. I'm still dealing with a little something. I'm better than I was, but I'm still dealing with a little, I don't know if it's allergy. I don't know. It is what it is. I'm here. I'm queer. Happy Pride. We open up this episode with Garcelle and her beautiful sister. Garcelle is apparently building a beach house. For you judging her and her white refrigerator, that is getting all knocked down. Calm down. The design that they showed us, first of all, Garcelle has to come back next season. I want to see this built. Sidebar, if they want to give her her own separate show of it getting built, I wouldn't mind that. Come on. Y'all know we love a design, okay? I would watch that because Garcelle is funny. She's just naturally funny. Her and her sister talking about where they came from. I liked, is this the sister that she couldn't remember the name? Remember when last season she couldn't remember one of her sister's names? Was this the sister? Sunita says, if what Sutton said was so dark, why would Crystal want to develop a friendship with her? That part. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jack, for the super chat. Jack says she's the Nat's friend. She should have known. Oh, look. Oh, we don't speak of the Nat. We don't speak of the Nat. Why is my phone in my pocket? All right, let's get back into this. Hold on, y'all. Let me put my headphones in. All right. So Garcelle's building this house based on the plans for this house. It looks like it's going to be beautiful. Once it's done, it's going to be beautiful. They went to the beach. I like that we're getting to see more of Garcelle's family. This is the second time we got to see some of her sisters. Remember last time when she was in Florida, we got to see her sisters there. I'm glad we're getting to see more of Garcelle's personal life. No matter how you guys feel about her not having a storyline, I say this all the time. You don't have to have a storyline if you're an interesting reality TV personality. And I feel like Garcelle is interesting, and Garcelle is producing moments this season. Garcelle is also defending her friend Sutton. And I can appreciate that because Sutton needs the backup, because if you haven't noticed, Erica is trying to turn the group on Sutton. Erica is trying to turn the group on Sutton like a grown-ass mean girl. But the other mean girls, Lisa Rinna and Kyle, are known for this. Speaking of Lisa Rinna, I meant to start this live by saying rest in peace to Lois. Rest in peace to Lois. The best part of Rinna, really, honestly. So happy that we were able to get to know her and see her and hear her stories on this show. And I'm glad that they added those little, remembrances in this episode. And honestly, Lisa Rinna was not as annoying as she's been on social media recently. She wasn't annoying in this episode. And Lisa was stirring the pot in Mexico. So what did I miss? What did I miss? So I can appreciate what she brings to the show, including Lois. Lois lived 93 and a half years here on Earth. And up until the end, she had all, if we all could live a long life and up until the end have all of our, cognitive abilities and physical abilities would be fantastic. So rest in peace to Lois. All right. Oh, people don't know what the Nat is? Jag, we know. Look, Jag, we knew. Public announcement. Teddy is the Nat, y'all. I knew what you meant. All right, let me just say thank you. We got a couple of super chats, and I don't want to lose them. All right, let me just say thank you. Estelle, thank you so much for the super chat. Estelle says, hello, Kempire. Everyone needs to look back and watch the actual scene because Sutton was saying tons of problematic things, even in what actually aired. Okay. Crystal, is that you? No, I mean, but Crystal, rehash it out for us. What exactly are you saying that was dark? Yes, we know that Sutton said some things that were like, Sutton, no. In this day and age, you got to know better and do better. What is it? And all of our Bravo investigators would have pointed those out. They would have made a video montage of it. What exactly is Crystal saying as a person of color that stood out to her? Tavi, thank you so much for the super chat. Tavi says, Crystal understands the weight certain words can carry and how they would be viewed front of the entire world. She knows exactly what she's doing to Sutton. Words like dark, problematic would be horrible for Sutton's brand. And then she kind of doesn't want to say exactly what it is, almost like she's protecting Sutton. But no, now you've left it open for people to be like, what did Sutton say? Now everyone like, okay, Sutton. I don't know. Yes, Yamola says, shed some light in the dark for us all, please. For us all. All right. So Dorit and Erica have lunch. Dorit talks about the therapy that she's going through. I'm going to really brush over the Dorit this week because, as I said to you before, like I was trying to keep an open mind, but the more I see this play out during the season, the more I'm just looking at Dorit like, all right. So Dorit also brings up that, PK said that we should go on a trip, to get my mind off of things. And Diana offered her private jet. We will get to Diana in a second. Crystal and Kyle have a lunch where they seem to hash out what exactly was Crystal trying to say. And Kyle, for the very first time, used a word that made sense. Yes, I feel like Crystal is gaslighting the group and gaslighting us. She's gaslighting us. She's pouring that gas all over us and hoping someone will strike a match. It seems they come to a better place by the end of their conversation, but Kyle's like, I was there. I don't remember exactly what you're even talking about. And Crystal keeps saying that, oh, well, I feel as if no matter what I said, you guys wouldn't understand. But if it was someone else in the group, you would. And that's the thing. Like, we've watched these ladies play out and be mean girls on the show. So there is truth to what Crystal's saying. But Crystal, you are one step away from being a mean girl yourself. If they would let you into the mean girl group, you would quickly turn on Sutton and Garcelle. Let the truth be known. Am I lying? Am I lying? I don't think I'm lying. Ashanta, thank you so much for the super chat. Ashanta says, I'm over Crystal. She needs to go. After this season, Walter says, period, and the dot. Okay. We will talk more about Real Housewives of Dubai later. Oh my gosh, Chanel Ion on Watch What Happens Live. First of all, she looked amazing. And she gives me a good mixture of just who she is, but also a little bit of Mary Cosby and the quirkiness. Anyone else? I am getting the Mary Cosby quirkiness from her. Norma, thank you so much for the super chat. Norma says, Crystal knows what Rosak, there we go, means, but not dark. Thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, okay, this is our recap. We can jump around all we want. When she used that word, first of all, I didn't know what that word meant either. Surprisingly, Erica Jane did. And Garcelle's like, what's that? And then she was like, "Oh, these words are, you guys." What did she say exactly? Let me see if I wrote it down. Did I write it down exactly what she said? Oh, I can't. She says, I know that these are big words. I told you guys last season, my first inclination about Crystal is that she's an elitist. But I wouldn't expect anything less really from Beverly Hills. But not only is she an elitist when it comes to class, it's also when it comes to education, apparently. And Garcelle says, I have a few big words. Big words for her. Oh my gosh. I got a few big words for her. So do I. So by the end of Kyle and Crystal's conversation, it seems like this situation is dead between them. It seems like they're okay, let's move on, because Kyle feels as if Crystal is gaslighting the situation, but she also feels like she's being passive aggressive. And I can't believe that I'm on Kyle's side this week, but I agree with her. Especially if you're not going to say what exactly did she say, because now you're just leaving it open. You're leaving it open amongst the group, but you're also leaving it open on television for people to fill in the blanks. Kyle also hangs out with Diana. I can't even do what Diana does. And every time I do it, I'm like, I mess myself up. Diana comes over, again, Kyle with the dogs eating the food. Kyle, I don't know. Why does Diana move so slow? Maybe she has something physically going on. But I always feel like Diana's not an old woman. So I was just like, all right, Diana. But the other thing with Diana, she's allergic to stores, right? Are her clothes allergic to her? That outfit that she wore to Mexico seemed like like the clothes was trying to run away from her. Her style is tacky. I don't like her style at all. For someone that's allergic to clothes and has the fashion designers come to her home, girl, you talk a lot being nouveau riche, aka Diana New Money. For someone that has probably the worst style besides Kyle on this. Actually, Kyle looked better than you. What are you wearing? The hair looked a mess. I really wanted to wait. Do I have sunglasses here? I don't have my sunglasses here. I wanted to put on the hat and the glasses when she came in from when you arrived to Mexico. She has a thing where she sends her team ahead to make sure everything is right. Can we make the closet longer? Are y'all? When she was like walking around looking, I was like, this woman is so pretentious for no reason. I'm still on the fence with Diana. So far, Diana's not bringing a lot for me. She's not bringing a lot for me. Jenna, thank you so much for the super chat. Jenna says, Diana with that big foxtail reference confused me. She says she grew a whole tail in 10 years. It's more like a snake. Or a rat's tail, something. Something's not all there with Diana Jenkins. But Diana does share her miscarriage story, which I thought was like so scary, because she said that her baby had died within her and she hadn't known, and the baby had been dead for 2 weeks. Ooh, that's scary. But she still wants to have more children. She's 40-something years old. But she wants to have more children. I mean, there are plenty of women doing it nowadays. Kyle's like, can't be me. Look, can't be me. AC, thank you so much for the super chat. AC says, at this point, Kyle's dog should make an appearance at the reunion. They're Kyle's storyline. And she's had these dogs for forever. I don't think we ever really knew how bad these dogs were until this season. They are her storyline this season. I feel like Kyle doesn't connect with Diana in their interaction. It seems like Kyle was just like, okay. She's like, And then she assumed that Kyle knew about her miscarriage. Why would Kyle have known? Was it in the news? You know about what happened to me. No, Diana, this is a reality show. Tell us. Kyle doesn't know you from a can of paint. You're on a reality show. Move on. That was like a nothing scene to me. We do talk a little bit about Paris Hilton's wedding during this episode. Paris Hilton had a 3-day wedding. This is part of the reason why allegedly we're not seeing um oh my goodness, Kathy Hilton so far this week. So also we learned that Farrah, Kyle's daughter, had gotten engaged during the same time. Look, all right, moving on. Who cares? So Sutton and Garcelle go out for dinner. Look, Sutton and Garcelle have a real friendship. And I wish more of the Housewives shows had real friendships. Yes, these two didn't know each other before the show, but they have garnered a real friendship. Something that we thought was happening between Sutton and Crystal. We'll get to Crystal and Sutton throwing her under the bus. So this is where Sutton reveals exactly what she said that may have been so dark to Crystal. And she talks about an incident that happened at her house where her daughter and I guess her daughter's black friend, her daughter's Asian friend were all in the pool. And Garcelle's like, that's it? Anything else? And Sutton's like, no, that's it. That's it. Kyle later says, yeah, Sutton told me about that too, but that can't be what Crystal's talking about. That can't be it. Crystal says on Watch What Happens Live that there was more. That's what she said on Watch What Happens Live, that there was actually more that was said. That was dark. Estelle, I'm starting to think this is Crystal. Crystal, show yourself. Coming out of the dark. I'm sorry. Jack says, I don't believe her. I don't believe her necessarily either, because to me, that's just like, okay, what is it? What did Sutton say? At some point, it's going to have to come out. And I'm sure some of these Bravo stands are going to create something. No, we want the truth. We don't need a Lisa Rinna creation of drama. We want to know what exactly did Sutton say. Obviously, it was enough for Crystal to forgive her and become friends with her. Like offline, these two were hanging out where they didn't have to hang out. So if she said something dark, obviously it's forgivable. And I would hope that Sutton would just at least tell her friend Garcelle, this needs to play out. This needs to play out. I need to know exactly what was said. Crystal, if you don't say it, you're going to look like the fool. Boo Boo the fool. Because right now you're looking like Boo Boo the fool for a second week. All right. Moving on from their dinner, because Garcelle's like, what exactly did you say? And she tells him, she's like, that doesn't make any sense. Darren says demoted soon. No, fired. No, not demoted. She can go. Hi Vibe, thank you so much for the super chat. Hi Vibe says Crystal is the one who is problematic. When a person of color alludes to racism when nothing racist was said, it's clearly a person who is very self-serving. Y'all know how we feel about that. We've had a couple of people, celebrities, do that recently in news stories that we've covered here on the channel. I don't like it. I don't like when people use real people's pain for their benefit. Sutton, I'm still looking at you though, because I don't believe the pool story either. I'm like, all right. Puerto Rican Mom, thank you so much for this super chat. And I always love your picture. Crystal needs to say what Sutton said because she's looking like a fool. Agreed. Michael says, Q Beyonce, somebody's getting fired. I mean, they were already on the fence about bringing Crystal back, word on the street. and they said that she needs to bring it this season. I don't know if this is her way of bringing it this season. Crystal, this is not the way, girl. This is not the way. In the middle of the episode, we find out that Lois passes away. And of course, they do a little bit of a dedication to her. Kyle is reacting. Of course, Lisa Rinna is never going to miss a trip. Look, she's not going to miss a trip. Lisa Rinna, look, had 93 beautiful years with her mom. I agree. Lois would have wanted her to go. Lois really loved this popularity that she gained from being on the show. And she was like, oh my God, how many likes did that video get, that picture get? So we knew Lisa Rinna was not going to miss this Mexico trip. She's not going to miss a day of work. She's a hustler. So yes, we get to see Lisa Rinna come back, and the group, embraces her, and they're all getting ready for their flight, their private jet flight to Mexico. Sidebar, y'all, every time Erica Jane, Diane already has a boo. She's not going to be your sugar mama. She's not going to be your sugar mama. All right. Hold on. Jenna, thank you so much for the super chat. Jenna says, Crystal says she grew up experiencing racism. Maybe she just didn't like Sutton's mixed kids pool story and wants everyone upset too. Could be. I mean, I still don't get the pool story, but it could be Sutton's way again of saying, I don't see color. I don't know. But to me, that wasn't dark. That wasn't dark. And everyone's perception of what might be dark would be different. But I think the general consensus would say, that's not really dark. Okay. Brandy, thank you so much for the super chat. Brandy says, Crystal asked, was it not problematic what Sutton said? What's problematic is she opted to use dark rather than problematic initially. Gaslighter. And look, at the table in Mexico, so they go to Mexico. They're in Mexico. This place is beautiful. I need to go to Mexico. Right by the water. When I was in Puerto Rico, I had my hotel, for those that follow me on social media, my hotel was overlooking the water. The sound of the water. I'm like, oh, I need to go to Mexico. Looked beautiful. Sidebar. On their way, that car ride with Erica, Sutton, Crystal, and Garcelle, I was like, this is an interesting car setup. And at one point, Erica and Sutton interact. So, Garcelle points out, how much you want to bet that Dorit's speaking Spanish to the driver in there? And so it's like, and if they speak English back to you, it's like, come on now. And they literally were right. They were literally right. I mean, she's very predictable, right? She is very predictable. Let me just say thank you. We got a couple more super chats, and we appreciate you guys supporting the channel any way that you can. Thank you to all of our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. If you want to become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. Again, teamkempire.com/join. And don't forget, our Pride merch is now available as well. If you haven't checked out our Pride merch, head on over to teamkempire.com/shop. Yes, it is Pride Month. Happy Pride to everyone that is celebrating. Malik, thank you so much for the Malik. Thank you so much for the super chat. Not siding with Crystal, but she is right to say the reaction to her issue would be different if Rinna or Erica said it. I agree with that. No one has ever opposed Rinna or Erica acting like a rabid animal last season. I agree with that. I agree. And that's why it's such a hard conundrum that we're in, because it's like, we get what you're saying when it comes to these mean girls, but at the same time, what did she say? What did she say? Thank you for the super chat, Malik. Elaine's, thank you so much for the super chat. Elaine says, Crystal needs to pull Sutton to the side and tell her what it is. From there, Sutton can make a decision about sharing it with the group. I would hope they've had a side conversation about this, but apparently they have not. And Sutton is on one when they go to this dinner in Mexico. Samara, thank you so much for the super chat. Samara says Dorit's Spanish even had a weird accent too. Okay. I mean, in all fairness to Dorit, I believe when you go to another country, if you know the language, they prefer you speak the language. But if they respond to you in English, that means you probably should speak English, because maybe your version of the language is not that great. Maybe. Maybe? I don't know. Guys, I didn't even realize how many people we had in the building. Guys, we have over 1,200 people here watching our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. We appreciate you, but we also appreciate our replay crew. Replay crew, how would you rate this episode from 1 to 10? What did you think of this episode? Let us know your thoughts. And I am going to drop the backstage link for our Royal Court members. It's a little perk that we give to our Royal Court members every once in a while when we're live. So let me just go to our community tab on YouTube. And I'm going to post the call-in link for Royal Court members first. Let me just do that now. And shout out to our mods. Guys, don't forget to show love to the mods. You know, they're here helping you have a fun conversation about your favorite housewives and housewives shows. So feel free to show some love to the mods as well. Let me just drop this backstage for our Royal Court members. There we go. All right. So they're in Mexico. Dorit's late for dinner, but they're already starting to have conversation at the table. Dorit's late because they gave her a ground floor suite, and she's uncomfortable because of the home invasion. I will let you guys weigh in because, as I said to you before, I'm tired of talking about Dorit in this situation. But Lisa Rinna, being Lisa Rinna, stirring the pot and being forever the producer, is like, what I missed while I was away? So Sutton gets into what Crystal has been talking about with the group, about something dark that she said. But not only does Sutton reveal, oh, this pool story, Crystal doesn't deny it. You see Crystal's reaction? Crystal's just like, Crystal, if that's not the truth, point out the truth. You know what truth Sutton points out? I've heard some things about you, Crystal, and your friendships and people that you're no longer friends with. You are a social climber. I'm changing the terms. She basically called her a social climber, and she aligned herself with the richest, most powerful person in the group. Anybody surprised? I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised at all. I was not surprised at all. All right, let me just say thank you, Catherine. Thank you so much for the super chat. Catherine says, I agree with you 100%. I love you, darling. Enjoying all of your content. Catherine, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Catherine just wanted to show love. I love that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to all of our subscribers. We hit 133,000 subscribers this week. So shout out to all of you. Those of you that have been here since the beginning and those of you that have been here recently or you just subscribed, this is what you're getting here on the channel, not just reality TV recaps, but everything in pop culture. So be sure to subscribe. If you would like to become a member, you don't have to become a member. We appreciate our members. But if you'd like to become a member, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. There is a new link. D, thank you so much for the super chat. D says, Erica keeps lashing out at Sutton. She needs a therapist so she can deal with her broke attitude syndrome. Not broke attitude syndrome. Is that a thing? Somebody call Dr. Curry. Somebody call Dr. Curry. Is that a thing? It might be. It might be. AC, thank you so much for another super chat. AC says, Crystal was dead silent when Sutton spoke her truth to her. Right? Anyone else notice that? Anyone else notice that? Crystal, because if someone accused you of that, wouldn't you have spoke up in that moment? Look, it is a reality show. Was her speaking up edited out? Could be. But she didn't say that on social media. She didn't say that on social media. Right? I'm laughing my broke attitude syndrome. But I keep telling you guys, pay attention. Pay attention to how Erica Jane is trying to have the rest of this group gang up on Sutton. All right, I gave Erica credit this week for calling a thing when they were talking about Sutton's character. Sutton didn't want to say exactly what we already knew. She doesn't want to be known as racist. Sass says, Kempire, if something was said, Bravo would use it as a teachable moment. Doubt anything was said. Sass, have you been following? There's a lot of stuff that's edited out that protects Bravo. Okay? There are things that Bravo definitely edits out. So that's part of the reason why I don't believe, I wouldn't be surprised if they were to edit something like that out or save it for later. Just saying. So just keep that in mind. Hold on. Let me just thank you, Jack, so much for the super chat. Jack says the real Sutton of Beverly Hills. Oh. We've had Sutton versus Lisa, Sutton versus Erica, Sutton versus Crystal. Next week, Sutton versus Diana. Following week, Sutton versus Housekeeper finale. Sutton versus Sutton reunion. Sutton versus Andy. You know what, Jack? You're cracking me up. Michael, me too. Broke attitude syndrome. I'm using it too. I'll cite my sources though. You know, I give credit. Hold on. Deborah, thank you so much for the super chat. Deborah says, can we call out Erica for her dance shuffle when everyone was comforting Renna at the airport? Selfish/self-absorbed. In all fairness, and look, straight shooter, in all fairness, based off of when she came in, I don't believe she saw Lisa Renna because she apologized. If you don't pay attention, sometimes you miss out. And if you don't watch it as many times as I do, you'll miss out where she apologized. It's like, oh, I didn't see you there. She does apologize. Look, you can say what you want about Erica Jane. There's a lot to say. However, I believe when she walks in, and this is all about editing too, she didn't see Lisa Renna. No one was sure if Lisa Renna was actually going to come on this trip. But I can see where you would think that, the way that she came in. All right. Guys, we have over 1,300 people in the building. Let's get to, where are we with the likes? Hold on. Let me bring this up over here. We're live on, of course, the Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We're live on TikTok. TikTok, what's going on? We see you. We got over 60 people in the building on TikTok. Thank you, thank you, thank you. TikTok, be sure to keep tapping your screens. Thank you in advance for the gifts. We appreciate you and the follows. Oh, hell no. Let's get to 500 likes. Let's get to 500 likes, and I'll drop the call-in link for the general public to call in and share your thoughts. And after I take these first 3 callers, then I'll drop the call-in link for our Team Kempire members. They're members of the channel. We appreciate you guys. Just a little surprise perk that we give to those that are watching during our lives. We are talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Don't forget, at 5:30 p.m. Eastern today, we will be doing Real Housewives of Dubai. And Lord, my DMs last night. The girls are fighting. My dream team doesn't need to fight. I don't want you guys fighting. I need you guys to be united. We will be recapping the Real Housewives of Dubai today at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. So set your reminders. The link is now available. Hold on. Dom, thank you so much for the super chat. Dom says Sutton better have a seat next to Andy at the reunion. Her shoulders have to feel heavy from carrying the season. I agree. All right. Let's get to some of the callers because you guys always have really interesting things to say. And I'm going to bring up in my opinion first. Hold on one second. Let me just put everyone's names up. Okay. All right. Okay. There we go. Oh, yeah, guys. Let me take a sip from my coldest water bottle. Now more than ever, I need water. And you know I love my Coldest water bottle. If you haven't checked out Coldest, head on over to coldest.com. They have water bottles. They have things for your pets. They have all kinds of really, really cool things. Head on over to coldest.com. Use the discount code KEMP10 for 10% off. All right. And I'm going to bring In My Opinion up as our first caller. What's going on, In My Opinion?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
I'm well. How are you? I feel like I haven't talked to you.
I'm blessed by the best, you know. Right. Love to see you know, doing your thing and everything. Congratulations on 133,000.
Thank you.
Let me tell you something. I do not believe that was all that was said. Okay. Just for the simple fact that you wouldn't leave a conversation with, I had a black kid and an Asian kid. It had to be something else that came after that. Like, you just don't leave a conversation that way. Right. And believe it or not, I think for a lot of people, when they're talking to people of color, they may not be racist and they may say something. And, you know, Sutton has this way of saying stuff and not actually realizing that what she's saying could come off problematic. So that's for that purpose only. She needs to say what else was said that was dark or problematic or whatever it is, because we can't not use these words, because we all know that these shows on Bravo have showed that there are a lot of racist people on these shows. And Bravo tends to take up for them because
And give
For
them
the
their
simple
own
fact they're
shows.
bringing them that money in. Okay, and they're in a business, and sometimes they don't look out for what's best for their business by calling it out. Sometimes they think they're helping by hiding this, and it's not helping. You know what I'm saying? Like, even on us going into this thing about these hearings with this insurrection and stuff, I feel like whenever something problematic or something that's controversial is happening, it has to be called out for change to happen.
Mm. But the other thing, and then I'll let you go, in my opinion. But the other thing is that if she said something so dark, how were they able to get over it and develop a friendship?
Well, you got to think about this from Crystal's stance too. I think Crystal really liked Sutton from the get go.
Really?
So yes, this is my thing. I feel like one of those type people that she's awkward in a different way.
Mm.
You know, she's in the way that she can't portray what she's feeling, loud. I think that comes across as disingenuous or her, not wanting to say things. But I think that's just the way she responds. Everybody responds to things differently. And Crystal's more quiet and reserved.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they do have a lot in common. And I think if they're going to really build a friendship, then build it off of being honest and truthful with each other. Because a friendship has to go there first. Like, I can't have a friend that I can't be honest with.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if you sat down and y'all talked about it and resolved it and you wanted to let it go, if you brought it up again, then you have to bring it all up, because now you have the viewing audience, you have the cast, everybody's in shambles. Like, we're trying to figure out what it is, how dark it is, how bad did it go. You see what I'm saying? And you can't leave people like that, because it can hurt her business. It can hurt her in her real life. People could bag away from her thinking that this was something that was actually detrimental, to the community, and it may not have been that way. It may have just been the way she took it. So they need to talk about it on camera so it can be resolved on camera, and it could be a teachable moment for somebody else.
Okay. All right. In my opinion, we appreciate you calling in.
Well, you have a wonderful, blessed day. I'll see you in Dubai.
Yeah. In Dubai. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. I love that. I love that. Okay. We have a couple of super chats that I want to get to, but I am going to drop the call-in link first for our Team Kempire members next, and then I will drop it for everyone that's watching. Excuse me. And just a reminder, guys, let's get to 500 likes. Liking the video is an easy and free way of supporting our channel, but other channels that recap reality TV, talk pop culture news. So be sure to like the video. Thank you in advance. Let me just drop this for our Team Kempire members backstage. There we go. Okay, let me go back now. Let me go back in here. And now let me say thank you. Jenna, thank you so much for the super chat. Jenna says, I think it was dark of Crystal to say to a colored woman, sorry, I used a big word. Crystal, please go. They need to Tracy her at the reunion. Oh, okay. Puerto Rican mom, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, Crystal is looking for a storyline. She is struggling to get one. Bye, girl. Damn. All right. Reality Diamond, Freddie, thank you so much for the super chat. Freddie says, Doritos is as annoying as Kyle. Yeah. Now to think about it. Yeah, I can see that. Danielle, thank you so much for the super chat. Danielle says, Crystal only likes Sutton because of who Sutton is and what she has access to. Hashtag elitist. Literally, after Sutton called her out during this Mexican dinner, I was like, oh, so is that why she started becoming friendly with Sutton? Because as you already know, Sutton is in these circles in Beverly Hills. That's why she knows a lot more than she says on the show. And Crystal must know that, even though Crystal's like, oh, I didn't know who Sutton was before this. All of a sudden, she now knows who Sutton is. And she's like, oh, interesting. Hold on. L-Boy, thank you so much for super chat. L-Boy says, false accusations only lead to bad things. Crystal, look at what happened in the Heard Depp case. Oh, damn, Boyd. Good point, though. Hold on. Wait, we got a couple of super chats. Let me just make sure I grab these. High Vibe, thank you so much for another super chat. High Vibe says, Crystal gives, I'm too good, smart, and young and rich for these women. She seems to be holding what she really found problematic for the reunion. Good point. Jenna, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, I'm sorry, guys, I used the word colored because Crystal keeps talking about Sutton not seeing color and trying to prove Sutton does see color. Okay. Thank you for the apology. I saw a lot of people were stirred up in there. Also, we should keep in mind certain countries, though, they still use that term. So sometimes I just sort of I'm not sure where people are watching from. So I try to keep that in mind as well. All right. And some Black Americans still use the word colors. So all right. All right. Did I get everyone? All right. All right. I'm going to bring Obi up, guys. We're taking callers now for our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. So let me bring up Obi. What's going on, Obi?
Hey, Kempire.
What's going on?
So the Crystal conundrum is that there's something about Crystal. She's full of BS and she's reaching for a storyline. And I don't know what you guys are confused about because Sutton pretty much said it in her confessional. Like, seriously, Sutton's confessional made it clear to me. She's a social climber and she's a pick-me. That's why she's going about it in this way. I mean, for Sutton to be bold enough to say it in her confessional, you should know that Sutton is actually bold enough to say everything she said. So that's why I believe that the story that she's telling Garcelle is true. Because when Garcelle confronted Sutton, I felt like she was actually trying to get Sutton to say everything that she wanted, like in case she said something different. I don't believe Sutton really said something different. I believe that she's still referring to either the conversation she had while Kyle was there or that conversation she had with Sutton where she mentioned the kids, which was actually a problematic statement. I mean, Sutton said some problematic things there. I'll say it's more of an ignorance rather than racist. She called the kid Chinese, which is kind of property a stereotype. And then she called the ginger kid Irish and Catholic. I guess she meant to say Celtic, which is still kind of problematic, but I don't really see how any of that has to do with Crystal or Garcelle. Crystal in the sense that maybe being that she's Asian and she's Chinese as well, maybe at least she belongs in that particular, category, the marginalized, like she belongs in that category of marginalized stereotype. So I was thinking maybe that's where Crystal is coming from, but she's not still making it very clear. It seems that she's just trying to carry this on as a storyline, and it's not really sitting well with me. And I also believe you guys think that she's getting close to Sutton because Sutton is close to some influential people in Beverly Hills. But my perception is that I feel like she's getting close to Sutton and Garcelle because they are the 8 chicks now in Beverly Hills as of last season. And she's kind of trying to get in with the cool kids in terms of like the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So that's my perception. Diana is very, very boring. And I feel like as a Bosnian lady, she's not even giving anything sophisticated. And she doesn't fit in with this crowd. What do you think? She doesn't fit in, in my opinion.
So far, no, not so much.
far, nothing. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that at the side note. But that's it. That's all for me. Bye.
Thank you, Obi. All right, we're going to get to Brooklyn Star and then Brooklyn Diamond backstage. Guys, let's get to 500 likes. We're almost there. I'll drop the call-in link for everyone else to call in and share their thoughts on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But live chat and, of course, replay crew, if you had to rate this episode between 1 and 10, how would you rate it? Based on our poll for the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, you guys at 54% of the vote rated it between 7 and 10. I probably would rate it probably at the minimum a 7. I'm a little tired of the Crystal storyline so far, but I would give it definitely at least a 7 for this episode. I would give it at least a 7. All right, let's get back to this. All right, we had a couple of super chats. Let me just say thank you, Catherine. Thank you so much for the super chat. She says, call Kanye or Marlo, real designers. Why are we putting Marlo even the same category as Kanye? I would definitely have Kanye, the real designer, credit, not Marlo. Okay, she wears designers. Okay. Nia, thank you so much for the super chat. Nia says, what Crystal did was wrong. With Sutton being questioned for being racist, saying she said something dark is wrong. She's showing she is a social climber or a skyscraper, as Chanel Ayan would say. Anyways, also she's showing she just talks like Kyle. Ooh, okay. Thank you, Nia, for the super chat. Sharon, thank you so much for the super chat. Sharon says Sutton is like Mama Joy. What? Wait, what? Sharon, explain. How is she? I'm confused. All right. Oh, continued. Nia, thank you for another super chat. Nia says, continued. Kyle makes everything worse or bigger than it is. She's being untrustworthy. Oh, in reference to how they're similar. All right. Thank you so much, Nia, for the super chat. All right. Let's get to these other callers. And I'm going to drop the call-in link. Let's do that. Let me drop the call-in link here. Right, and I'll say thank you to Kay. Kay, thank you so much for the super chat. Kay says, Crystal keeps switching her stories because she asked Garcelle if the pool stories sound problematic. Last episode, Kyle was drunk too. Kyle wasn't there. Interesting. All right. Hold on. David, thank you so much for the super chat. David says, did you see Up and Adam's interview with Jen Shaw? He was too soft. It was annoying. Why couldn't you have done it? Come on, y'all. I haven't seen the rest of the interview. I did see part 1. I haven't seen the rest of the interview, but we shall see. We shall see. I'll let you guys know or not. If I don't say anything, then it says a lot. So thank you so much, David, for the super chat and the shade. Sharon, thank you so much for the super chat. Sharon says the streets be talking, Crystal. Crystal, this is not Crystal. This is not the move. All right. Let's get to these other callers. You guys are a mess. Helen, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you guys. I just want to make sure I get the super chats before we start taking callers, because then sometimes they get missed. Thank you guys. We appreciate any way that you support the channel, sharing the live, watching, sending in super chats, Venmos, Cash Apps, all of that. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. It helps us to continue to do these things that we do, because YouTube be playing. Trust and believe. They got their little things behind. When they see you doing a little well, they want to start limiting certain things. Just saying. So just keep that in mind. We do appreciate the tips and things that you guys send in. S. Bricey, thank you so much for the super chat as well. All right, Brooklyn Star, I'm going to bring you up. Enough talking. Hey, Brooklyn Star.
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I wanted to start off with, I'm tired of Dorit, that she's going to associate anything that anybody has going on with her situation. The more and more that she's there, I'm just believing some things are not true about what's going on. Kyle and them nasty dogs, I'm tired of seeing this. It's getting gross and gross every episode. Keep them dogs outside in the pool house. It's disgusting. If I was Diana, I would not have eaten a cracker, okay, with that dog being alone in that room for that moment. Diana doesn't deserve a diamond. They should have started off slowly. After it got explosive, maybe introduce a new intro with her having a diamond. But off jump, she's very boring. And that assistant has no life. Like, to just be traveling around to do that, set up and do all that. No. It's killing Erica.
Wait, Brooklyn Star. She probably gets paid very well to do that.
Yeah, but then you sacrifice a relationship, children, and a man or something. And it's not enough money for her to be popping out kids with a young boy toy, and you sitting there just sitting in the room waiting to be called. Like, no, it's not worth that much. Well, get me a man with that salary, and then maybe, but she doesn't have a life. It's killing Erica not to be that girl, honey. It is killing her. Her fashions are not hitting. Her work, her face work, is not hitting. There's nothing hitting. Because if you notice, when she makes what she thinks is a statement or like tries to get like vile, nobody's paying attention and people are questioning her or giving her like back talk. I don't think she knows how to deal.
Yeah.
Being in that private jet was killing her soul.
But she didn't even own her private jet.
She sure did, and she would have to ask Tom very nicely, can I? Remember those days?
Didn't own it either.
It's the orphans plane, these poor orphans. Crystal put the gas in lighter. She is a mess. I don't like the way she's moving. I don't like what she's doing to Sutton, because let me tell you, we've all been in that situation where we had either white friends, co-workers, classmates, where in one point in life, you had to either educate or check. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. I still remember my first time in 6th grade, Marissa. She tried me one time in science class. We're watching National Geographic, and she was like, "Is that where your mother's from?" Trust me, never had a problem with Marissa after that point. You just either educate or you check, but you know what side that person falls in. You could see how terrified Crystal is weaponizing her race. I'm sorry, because let's just be real here, because when it comes to race, Crystal has a privilege as well. And she is weaponizing her race when it comes to Sutton, because you can see how terrified Sutton is. Sutton is talking basically in code to me when it comes to Crystal. Don't go there, please. She's scared of Crystal, and Crystal, I think, is playing into that. Because there's no way I'm going to befriend somebody that I think is racist. I don't think Sutton's racist, but I think she's one of those people you have to educate. No, that's not right. That's what I personally think is going on. She's a mess. I think that's about all I had to say. Yeah. Oh, Lisa,
we're gonna pray for Marissa.
Let me tell you, Lisa, I don't know what's going on with Beverly Hills. They don't have no PTO time or something, because the way these girls handle tragedy and death, and they're still punching in, going on trips, like going to store openings, is crazy to me. Somebody needs to call Bravo. I think it's against the law. They deserve PTO time. It's crazy the way they function. But that's all.
Thank you, Brooklyn Star. Bye. Oh, goodness. A mess. Okay. Miss Brooklyn's backstage. It looks like Miss Brooklyn's working. You ready for Miss Brooklyn? Okay. Miss Brooklyn. I appreciate all the people that are working and trying to watch and be a part of the show.
DEP just shut off the water to 2 of my buildings for a whole block.
Fun.
So it's like, yeah, fun. Emergency notice. Hey, people, if you're in the middle of a shower, you no longer have water.
Sorry.
Lovely living in New York. The issue I wanted to talk about, one of the things that I found problematic is, one, I didn't like the way Crystal, when she said the Rorschach test, and Garcelle said, "Excuse me, what?" And Erica was like, the blot test. Crystal was like, "Oh, sorry, I won't use big words." It was like, what are you trying to say?
Yeah.
You're trying to say that the Black girl doesn't know big words. Problematic. And I have a problem with her using the word dark. I mean, if she wants to be nitpicking, I'll nitpick with you. Why are you using dark to imply that what she said was inappropriate? Or there are so many other words that you could have used. You could have said what she said was inappropriate, what she said was problematic, what she said was on the borderline of whatever. But you use the word dark to imply or use to connect it with something dark is something bad, something dark is something sketchy. And that is something that's going on, like they say, Black humor, or, it's a little white lie. So then what color is the big bad lie? It's like you're playing into that racist trope just as well. And the final thing is, if you moved past it, there was no reason to bring it up. The fact that you brought it up, you really haven't moved past it. And that's a conversation you should have had with Sutton on the side to remain there, since you didn't move past it. But I'm one of those people, if you're going to open up a door, then walk through it. Don't play that game with, "Oh no, I don't want to get somebody in trouble," or, "Oh no, I don't want to say." No, you opened up your big mouth, keep on going. I want to almost say, the one thing that Erica said last year, I didn't like it, but she said, "Well, no, since you started it, continue."
Yeah.
When she said with Garcelle, with the whole Tom calls her, "Since you started it, continue."
Yeah.
And that's all I got to say. I got to get back to work.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Brooklyn. All right, guys, we're going to get to some more callers, but if you're just joining us, this is our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. We have it every single Thursday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern here on the channel, so you don't miss out. Be sure to join our texting community. Head on over to TextKempire.com or text me at 347-647-2372. Don't forget, data and message rates may apply. All of that information is available in the description of this video as well. That's also where you're able to drop me tea. That's where you're also able to get breaking news. We're going live. All of that really great information. All right, Freddie's backstage. I'm going to bring him up. What's going on, Freddie?
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Yeah, good. I'm going to do my usual be quite quick at running through all of it.
We appreciate it.
Dorit is as annoying as Kyle, and the reason is that she's a bit like Kyle. Kyle being more upset than everyone else about Dorito's robbery, Lisa Rinna's mother dying, and things like that. Dorit's going, "Oh, it's similar to mine," and allegedly broke PK's robbery issues and stuff like that. You know, no, it's not. We still have questions on your robbery, so be quiet, woman. Secondly, Kyle's dog, I think her and Caroline Stanbury probably ought to find a good dog trainer to deal with their dogs because they've got enough money to do that. And with Crystal, I think she hasn't got through the sort of senior school stage, or in America, as you call it, high school. She has very high school behavior and she likes acting a bit like a child. I think she just enjoys gaslighting. Now, I do believe Sutton when she said that Crystal sort of has used people to get to the top. And even Lisa Rinna, who actually was annoyed with Sutton over the back with the Elton John thing, has no reason to be backing Sutton up. And if anything, is wanting her blood. So the fact that Lisa Rinna sort of backed up that in the confessional, I think is very telling. And it really doesn't surprise me. In all honesty, Dorit, I mean, I just don't really want to hear about her therapy stuff ever again. I mean, I just think it's awful. And Diana Jenkins, well, I mean, that PA woman, she's not relatable, is she? She's just trying too hard. She's one of these types that got lucky because of marrying a rich husband, and she sort of dreamt about being a celebrity all her life. I think Erica sort of looks up to Diana as a sort of an example because Diana gold digged and got out of the marriage with money, whereas Erica failed on that part.
Thank you, Freddie.
Very welcome.
Bye. Hilarious. All right, Deborah, thank you so much for the super chat. Deborah says, Erica, we are not done with you and your BS about the status of your legal issues. Victims lying. I want to pull her wig. Thank you, Deborah, for the super chat. Hold on. Maxilia, thank you so much for the super chat. Maxilia says, this episode made me question Crystal's character. I think a lot of people. Nia, thank you so much for the super chat. Nia says, adding to what the caller said, Erica trying to compare her and Crystal's situation is crazy. And lying, saying the people trying to lie on them, chick is crazy. Erica wants a moment. Have you guys not noticed multiple times in these last few episodes, Erica always wants to chime in and have a moment. And now she wants to separate the friendship that Crystal had or has with Sutton by like, oh, she's going to keep coming for you. Sutton? Sutton's not going to keep coming for Crystal unless Crystal keeps coming for her. I don't see that in Sutton. I see that in Crystal. I see that in Erica. I don't see it in Sutton. Thank you, Nia, for the super chat. Maximilia, thank you so much for the another super chat. She says, Crystal perpetuates anti-Blackness sometimes. Well, we'll have to have that conversation in the chat. Replay crew, I want to know your responses to what some of the callers are saying. I saw we missed the super chat. Let me just say thank you, Data. Shout out to Data. Data says, this one is for the mods. Thank you. It's Friday here, so liquid lunch on me. In my Cardi B voice. You know what? Thank you so much, Data, for the super chat, and happy Friday to you in the future. Okay? Data's all the way in New Zealand, y'all. All right, let's get to the rest of these callers. Rakita, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Rakita?
Hey, Kim. So I am half of a fraud. I did not watch this video. However, I know. Don't judge me. I had to adult this morning. But about the Crystal thing, as a person of color, as a Black woman, we all know that there's a difference between racist comments and being inappropriate. There's a difference between problematic and inappropriate. Inappropriate can be forgiven or have a teaching moment, and problematic is just problematic, like catch these hands. And I think that's why Crystal was able to want to build a relationship with Sutton. When Crystal was questioned on the couch by the Mean Girls, I think she didn't do it on purpose, but I think she was backed up against the wall, and how she fought her way out of it was to throw Sutton under the bus. And instead of saying, hey, listen, you know, this is what she said, maybe it wasn't problematic to you, but it was to me, she decided to double down. And now she realized that the audience is not down for that. So she's still trying to hold on to the last card that she got, because she know we ready to send her packing like fired. So she's holding on to that card because I know that she knows that's the only one that she has left. As far as Dorit and her break-in, child, I'ma mind my business. I'ma mind my whole business, because something ain't right, but I'ma mind my business. But that's it. I gotta get back to work. I'll see you
Thank you,
later.
Regina. Take care. Bye. Y'all are hilarious. All right. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. Let's get to at least 700 likes before we end this live. I'm going to take a few more callers. We have quite a few people backstage. If we don't get to everyone, I apologize. It's just a lot of people are calling in last minute. All right. All right. And our last call is going to be Adam from the UK. All right. Kataman, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Kataman?
Hello, sorry. Okay, Crystal is getting on my nerves. I don't know what else to say. Part of me is just like, why say something and then put your foot in it? And I always get a feeling with Crystal is that she really wants to be part of the in crowd. She is trying to play her cards, but I think on some kind of level, she knows if she goes in the in crowd, the fan reception's not going to be all that great. Also, I'm getting really tired of people ganging up on Sutton. I mean, it's like everybody's ganging up on her, and I'm like, no offense, and that's why I rate this episode maybe a 3 or a 4, because I'm like, if you're gonna keep doing this every single episode, I'm sorry, I don't want to see. I'm sorry, but I don't want to see a repeat of Selling Sunset. Everybody trying to gang up on one person. And also with Denise in season 10. It's not fun. And as for Diana, I keep forgetting she's even there. Like, sometimes I'm just like, who are you? And I'm still like, where is Kathy? Like, even though Kathy, there's some allegations with her, I'm like, at least she was fun. Like, she kept things fun and and stuff like that. As for Crystal, I'm gonna try to keep it light. But I think she just, I followed her on Instagram. I don't see any of her peers that look like her. And I feel like she really wants to be part of that white elite group because she feels uncomfortable with herself racial rise. And I've heard that because, I mean, I have, I've heard that, and it's really sad, but it's just kind of like, dude, you're Asian, like, accept it. But I do, and then with the and I'm gonna go right about now because I want everybody to have their chance to talk. But I do agree with the last caller in a sense where she just wants to be part of that in crowd, but also no, she's weaponizing she's weaponizing racism, because I'm just like, there is a difference between prejudice and racism. Prejudice is when you say something and it's like, it's ignorant. Racism is when you try to block someone from X, Y, and Z because you don't really like them. And that goes with religion, that goes with everything else. And I just feel like, why did you not say it? Like, because no offense, if someone something that was derogatory to me, I wouldn't want to be friends with them. Yeah. I would tell them face to face, look, you cannot say that. And I suggest you not do that, because if you do that, it will not go well for you. But then I'll be like, well, not your friend, because I'm tired. But I hope you have a good day.
You too.
I'm sorry I didn't see your old show. I was sleeping and my head hurts. So
that's all. That's all right. I hope you feel better. Thank you so much for calling in.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Guys, if you're just joining us, be sure to like this video. We are talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We will be recapping the Real Housewives of Dubai later today at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. The link is now available, so be sure to set your reminders. I will send out a reminder to our texting group as well. Again, Patrine, thank you so much for the super chat. Patrine says, Dorit bringing up her robbery in every conversation is what makes her story unbelievable. I agree with Garcelle. There has to be more that was said between Crystal and Sutton. All this fuss didn't make sense. Agreed. All right. Let me get to these callers. Estelle, I see you're backstage. However, it says device is not connected, so I won't be able to even bring you up. So I don't know if there's some sort of connection issue on your end. All right. Florence, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Florence?
Hey, Kempire. So I'll keep it short and sweet. My opinion, my comment is on Crystal. So this is the second time Crystal has used a word that doesn't match the situation. Last year, she said, I felt violated. And she made it seem like something was done maybe physically to her.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got onto her about using that word. Okay, she stood by it. Now she's using the word, it was so dark. So now we're thinking, oh my gosh, Sutton is this racist lady that we need to look out for her.
Mm-hmm.
So Crystal, and she doesn't want to, she stuck with that word. So she wants us to accept the words that she uses. So now, if that's the case, twice you've used words that don't match the situation. And we all have friends in the past that maybe are people who are very dramatic with stories. And if she was my friend, that is the box that she is going to go into. So that means when you tell me a story, I know to take that story with a grain of salt because you have a history. And again, I think someone had mentioned about her credibility. You have a history of being dramatic and stories not lining up with what you're saying. And also, you are the kind of person I will never share my personal business about because now I know that you're going to take what I say. And again, it's going to be said in a dramatic way that may be twisted in what I don't say. So Crystal, you're really messing up your own story, your own life. And I'm starting to always question what you say because you're using words that don't match descriptions. So that is my own comment. You want us to accept your story. You want us to accept your words, but they don't match up. Wow. That's it.
All right, Florence, we appreciate you calling in. Have a great rest of your day.
You have a good one.
Bye. Whew. Good Lord. Crystal, at least we're talking about you. At least we're talking about you. Not in a good way. All right. Let's get to the other callers. Miss P, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Miss P?
Hello, Kempire. Thank you for giving me an opportunity. So I want to say, Crystal, I am on Crystal's side with this.
Okay. I'm glad.
Right. Because I think that maybe we don't know exactly what she said, but I think she said something. She's just, when she started with the whole, she doesn't see color last year when Crystal was trying to take Garcelle's side, when she said she understood, and then Crystal's like, I don't understand color, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I don't see color. I believe she said something. And then she's just so weird. Like last week when she had Diana come over for breakfast and they had all that food, like she just tries too hard too. Then I want to talk about Erica. What was that outfit she had on? The little jean dress and the jean jacket, and I'm like, girl, you have really fallen down. Like, I mean, my wardrobe would have been better on national TV. Then I want to talk about Lois. Rest in peace to Lois. All right, but what's her name? Rena does anything for a storyline. I was watching an old episode of Beverly Hills, and this one young lady, I don't remember who she was, but she was on they were doing a birthday party for her. They were on a yacht, and her mom called, and she was like, the young lady whose birthday it was, she's like, oh, my mom doesn't really remember me anymore, and blah blah. And then Rena starts crying, oh, my mom doesn't remember me either. She's had a stroke. I feel like, oh my goodness, she's nowhere here anymore. And I'm like, I just saw the other day. I'm like, Rena, you said that stuff about Lois, and then Lois came on the screen like all vibrant and everything. Like, you always seek attention. and that was a little weird and shady for me. If I ever see the episode again, I'll text it to you so that you'll know which episode I'm talking about. But Rena does anything for a storyline. But I do definitely believe that Crystal said more than we just know, and than we've heard. And I don't think that they're going to put it out there. They may wait till the reunion so that we can hear everything that was said.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Crystal did say, hey, this is offensive. But Crystal is like, she was just trying to explain, to me, she was just trying to explain, like, if it's one of the white women saying something, you all are like, you understand what they're feeling. But if she says something, it's like, no, like your feelings are invalid. The same way they basically wanted to sweep Garcelle's feelings under the rug last year when she was talking about racism. So the Beverly Hills ladies, the white privileged women, they want to say they don't see color, but they can see color.
Okay. All right, Miss P, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you so much.
Take care. All right. We're going to take the last couple of callers, guys. If you're just joining us, don't forget, we do have some Pride merch. Happy Pride to the sidebar. I guess homophobia is still real. Speaking of prejudice and racism, I posted a photo of the late, great Marsha P. Johnson. And I was like, I mean, for the most part, everyone was like, happy Pride, yay. But then I saw a couple of comments. I was like, not in our Pride month. Would you go somewhere with that? It's okay, y'all. Y'all know I'm not sensitive. I just was shocked. I was like, not in this Pride month. Anyway, we do have some merch for you guys, some really cool Prideified merch that we are excited. It's t-shirts, it's sweatshirts, it's water bottles, it's all kind of really great stuff, even a book bag, y'all. Be sure to order today so your material, your whatever you decide to order comes in time for Pride Month. We're already almost halfway through Pride Month. Lord, where does the time go? Anyways, head on over to teamkempire.com/shop so you can get your Pride merch in time for Pride. All right, let's move on. Petra, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Petra? Petra, you're muted. Petra.
Hello.
Here we go. How are you?
Hi. Oh, God, I have been waiting to speak. I agree with the caller about Erica kind of looking up to Diana. And I think that's the same reason she hates Sutton, because Sutton got out of her marriage. She has her reputation intact. She got all she deserved out of the marriage. And I think that kind of puts Erica off a bit, like, oh, this person is speaking on my situation and she is better off than I am. And I think that kind of, heightens the hatred she kind of has for Sutton at the moment, because Sutton is so much better off than she is. And then Diana comes along and she's kind of in a similar situation, but Diana hasn't spoken on her situation, so she doesn't have a problem with that. In terms of Kyle, like I said in the chat, she needs to call Cesar Milan. Those dogs are out of control.
Our dogs are older now. I mean, at some point you can't train dogs anymore, right? You know the saying, old dog, you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
That's true. But even when, remember when the dogs got at the back and behind the boot of the car, when she was going out and she had all her shopping in there and she just put the dogs, it's too much. Like, can we not see the dogs anymore? It's just too much. In terms of Crystal, I've always said from the beginning that Crystal is not a good person. I'm sorry, I don't think she is. But I think a lot of people are starting to see why. Even the conversation about her going for the top dog, in quotes, like going for the popular girl in the group and then, treating the other girls poorly, the group, as her former friends have alluded to. And then Lisa Renner also speaking on that. I think it's very clear that that's kind of a pattern with her. And here's why I think Crystal is not a good person. I think that she lives a very stoic personal life where everything's perfect. She has the husband, she has the house, she has the children. Everything is perfect from the outside, right? And then, so she's kind of looking for like excitement and chaos. So when she goes in her personal friend circles, she tries to cause confusion and chaos. And then she plays these games of words where she says something and she knows what she's doing. Like she's not a daft girl. She knows what she's doing. It's like me saying, I'm going to use a very stupid example, but it's like saying, Crystal, I'm going for a bath. And then she goes back to the friend group and says, oh, Petra says she's going to the bathhouse. And do you know something about the bathhouse? That is very evil. So here's what she does. And then you go back to her and you say, Crystal, I didn't say I'm going to the bathhouse. I said I'm going for a bath. And for you to say that's evil, that means I've done something to someone else that is so evil, as opposed to just me having like personal indulgence where I'm just, living my personal life. But you using the word evil. So now we're not even concentrating on what the misrepresentation, we're focusing on her characterization of the thing that didn't even happen. So I think that's one of the problems with Crystal. And then she says, oh, dark is just a 4-letter word. Okay, so is rape, so is evil, so is liar, which you are. I'm not going to say Munchausen because that's a 10-letter word. No. So is pedo. There's so many 4-letter words. What's your point? Do you see what I'm saying? She knows what she's doing. Yeah. And when she talks about invalidating people's feelings, don't forget, last season, Garcelle did say in the group, I don't feel like I'm a part of this group. I don't feel wanted. I don't feel like, you guys are my friends. Well, what did Crystal say? I've not been made to feel like that. They've not made me feel not welcome. I feel welcome. I feel perfectly fine. She wasn't invalidating Garcelle's feelings then. Or when Sutton was crying and she called Sutton a psycho, called her weird, called her socially awkward, when she was pouring her heart out to her. So she has that pattern of invalidating people's feelings. And then when she says, well, if Erica or Rena had said this about anyone, if they had used the word, no one would have questioned it. Well, when Kathy said, I don't see color, you didn't question her too. So you also have that pattern of pick and choosing who to question. So if you need to start with yourself and, do the exact same thing you want others to do. And I have to speak on this I don't see color thing because I'm seeing it's such a trend. And I think I need to point out that it's very cultural to say I don't see. I don't know how it is in America, but in Britain, we do say it a lot. We do say, oh, I don't see color a lot. And it's a very good thing here. Yeah. Now, I can't speak for every.
It used to be a good thing here back in the day, but I think what people are saying now is like, no, you can't say that anymore because this is the way it makes people of color, Black people feel when you say it. Yes, people here in the United States used to say it all the time. But what we are saying is that people nowadays are saying, no, we don't like that anymore being said.
Right. And I think one of the things, though, is, again, Crystal knows what she meant. And I think that speaks to what Garcelle was saying was, no matter what Sutton said, you would have found an issue with it. Don't forget, Teddy and Crystal are friends. And Sutton and Teddy don't get along. So coming into the season, she already had a problem with Sutton. Let's not bullshit around. We know she did not like Sutton. Please. And when they went to dinner as well, she said, oh, I don't know who she is. I've never heard the name Sutton before. I don't know who she is. She had a problem with Sutton. That's why I don't agree with the caller who said, well, Crystal liked Sutton at first. I'm like, what? No, that did not happen. She did not like her at all. So again, with the I don't see color thing, when we usually, I think, the kind of revisitation of the term is kind of postmodernist in a way that, are you really saying you don't see color? But we know that it doesn't mean I'm colorblind. Yeah. As a Black person in Britain, I know when someone says I don't see color, I know exactly what they mean. They mean when I'm making my day-to-day decisions, I don't see your color. I'm not going to wind up the window of my car when you pass by because I don't see your color. I'm not going to say, oh, that's a Black person walking by. In America, I recently heard, Wells Fargo holding fake interviews for Black people to have, like interviews for jobs that don't exist. Maybe if they didn't see color, that wouldn't happen in the first place. We still live in a society where we have the first Black this, the first Black that, the first Black person to do this. If you didn't see color, maybe we would have like 30 people in that position by now. So I think we need to also have the sense to say, okay, this is what they meant. And then if you don't agree with the term being, then say, okay, fine. I don't think, you know, but to just allude that to being racist or being dark or something like that, I don't think it's fair.
According to Crystal's not saying that's what she's considering dark. She's saying something else was said that was dark. But I have to go move on, Petra. I appreciate you calling in.
Of course. Thank you so much for taking my call, Kempire.
Take care. All right. We're only taking one more caller, so don't even try calling in, people. If you're just joining us, this is our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. It happens every single Thursday here on the channel, but that's not the only thing that you get here on the channel. We talk about everything in pop culture, so be sure to check out some of what you've missed in the last couple of weeks, including our coverage of the beef between D.L. Hughley and Monique, most recently my Megan Good story, and the Todd Chrisley conviction. That is a situation. They are facing 30 years in jail. So be sure to check out that full report here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, Kempire Radio. A new episode came out last week. Another episode will be coming out this week. But the visual version, if you haven't already, subscribe to the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers there. But it's also a good place to be. God forbid, anything happens to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, you want to make sure that you don't miss out on notifications there. So be sure to subscribe to the Kempire Radio YouTube channel, where you can also check out some of my past interviews with Brandy, Brian McKnight, Danny Kane, Music Soul Child, Devon Franklin, and of course, TV icon Oprah Winfrey. This month marks 10 years since my interview with Oprah Winfrey. If you haven't checked it out, be sure to check that out on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. Mods, if we can post a link to that in the live chat, that would be fantastic. We appreciate it. All right. Last but not least, we're going to bring Adam up in just a second. I do want to say thank you to Estelle. Estelle, thank you so much for the super chat. Estelle says, I'm mad at G for bringing that combo up. She knew, quote, G, I guess Garcelle, you're mad at, I'm mad at Garcelle for bringing that combo up. She knew, number one, Crystal wasn't comfortable with racism. 2, she wasn't at ease with the women. 3, Crystal was defending her. Also, we may want to be mindful of the yellow peril. All right, there's a lot of abbreviations in that super chat, so there's certain things that I'm trying to understand what you're trying to say, but I don't, so I apologize. But thank you so much for the super chat. All right, Adam, I'm gonna bring you up. What's going on, Adam?
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Whilst I was waiting in the queue, I just saw that FYI Marriage to Medicine trailer's been released.
Oh, thank you.
But yes, I've watched Beverly Hills for the last 3 days. Just had to go to them all in one. This episode, I don't know, like I'm quite annoyed watching all 5 of these episodes, including this episode. I'm just really frustrated with Kyle Richards. She has her double standards, and she's always on the fence. So I think Lisa Rinna has just told her to be her pet, essentially, to kind of go after Sutton, because like Kyle always hides behind a fence. And also there's quite a bit of irony with obviously I feel sorry for Lisa Rinna for one's mum passing, because no one wants that on The Worst Enemy. But when it was with Lisa Vanderpump's brother, none of these people gave a flying F. Quite frankly, they were just like, oh, okay, you know, we want the throne to be dismissed. We don't want the throne on this show. And Kyle now just pretends that she's like the queen of this show, and she's far from the queen. Like, you know, she will be knocked down in chess, in my words. Like, I don't like Diana at all. I don't even know why she's on the show. She comes across as a beg. That's British for thirsty. She's, you know, a lot of people comparing her to Candy Burruss. People are saying that Candy doesn't have any substance anymore. Candy's on there only for money reasons, because she gets paid $4 million a year. But with Diana, I just don't. There's something about her that she just is not ready for this show. She just seems like she's forced to be there, and like she's just there, and she needs to just stop or just resign. I don't know what she will do, but one of the two. I mean, with regards to Crystal, obviously the whole thing is a bit messed up, say the least. But I want her to kind of stay because, you know, this will be the second time where Andy has made a big error. So, you know, Camille Grammer, for example, was on Beverly Hills as a main cast member less than Nanaj. We can't have another person who was on less than Nanaj. So, you know, no one wants that. But yeah, with regards to that whole situation, though, I'm on Sutton's side. Like when she said at the dinner table, "This is not fair." It's not fair. You can't tell half the story and then expect others just to fill in the blanks. Like that's not how society works. Like at least not here. And you know, being from London, you know, arguably with New York City, some of the most diverse cities in the planet. You know, we're all around culture here. We love culture, but you know, when you allude to something like that, you're treading on someone's toes. If you got to be careful. Like that's no fun. And I feel that like with this season so far as a whole, you know, when it comes to Dorit's storyline, I have to just take a sip.
I'm not taking
because like I'm not saying anything on that. Like yeah, that's that. But with Erica, like I kind of agree with what you were saying for the last few minutes, is that she's just looking for a moment. Like, you know, at this rate, she just I mean like she didn't say anything at the table to defend Crystal in tonight's episode, and we're seeing next week in the preview clip that she's going, "Oh, I'm on Crystal's side, you know, she called you a liar." And like I'm sorry, you like, you know, this is just that's just Erica just trying to learn Lisa Renner's mental skills, because like I'm sorry, but looking for a moment, people can just read through the lines.
Yeah.
But overall, yeah, so far I'm not really enjoying this season of Beverly Hills. Like, quite frankly, like I like Sutton and Garcelle, and I mean Lisa Renner's sometimes funny, but you know, I just feel that this show needs to have a rebrand. Like, you know, the reason why they got Diana on the show is because clearly, you know, if you watch Beverly Hills in the beginning, you had Lisa Vanderpump, Adrian Malouf, and Camille, who all lived in this place called Beverly Park, where the houses were worth $20 million each, and that was real wealth. And Kyle, actually, at the start of Beverly Hills, was like one of the poorest cast members. Like she's come
a long way.
She actually has come a long way. Like she was just known as Paris Hilton's aunt, basically. But you know, but if you follow Camille Grammer on Twitter, she is pretty right with this show. It's kind of turned into Real Housewives of the Valley. Like, you know,
Housewives of the Valley. All right.
I mean, they need a rebrand, because if you actually look at it, at least Lisa Renner in the last 3 years has been the only person who properly lives in Beverly Hills. And but I'm not happy with Diana, and she just needs to go. That's my final piece.
All right, thank you, Adam, for calling in.
All right, catch you later.
Thank you. Bye. All right. Shout out to everyone that called in. As I've always say, it's never easy to call in, especially when you have thousands of people watching. We appreciate you, the thousands of you. We almost hit like 1,700 people watching our recap, and then how many more thousand watch later on. We appreciate you guys that watch and are part of the replay crew. So let's continue that conversation about this episode. Look, when we talk about race, when we talk about these touchy subjects, it's not easy. It's not easy for people to call in and talk about them. So be respectful of them and their opinions. These conversations are important to happen on either side, so people can learn, so people can grow from this. I don't know what exactly happened between Crystal and Sutton. Maybe we will get further clarity in the rest of this season. But so far, oh gosh, Crystal. Like, I'm trying to root for you, Crystal, but damn. Catherine, thank you so much for the super chat. Catherine puts a bunch of laughing emojis. Sorry, Kempire, about Marlo. It's okay. Thank you, Catherine. I don't know. We'll see what the ratings are so far for this week. As Adam just mentioned, maybe we'll go live again a little bit later on to talk about the Married to Medicine trailer that will be dropping. Not sure if it's dropping today or who knows when, but stay tuned for that. What we're hearing is that Married to Medicine will be premiering in July. So that should be interesting. Shout out to everyone that called in. Shout out to everyone that sent in a super chat. We appreciate you all being here. Don't forget at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, we will be live for our Real Housewives of Dubai recap. I'm going to watch it again and then, of course, come back here and talk about it. You will have an opportunity to call in and share your thoughts. So be here or be square. That will be at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to our Team Kempire and Royal Corp members. To become a member, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. And to get your Pride merch, head on over to teamkempire.com/shop. Guys, don't forget to show love to each other, but definitely show love to our moderators, especially when we're having conversations like this. They have to make sure that the conversation is flowing and everyone feels safe in the live chat and in the comment section. So shout out to them. Don't forget to say thank you to them. Hey, and thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's get out of here, you guys. I will see you guys later. Don't forget to like the video. Let's get to 800 likes. We have over 1,100 people here. You've been here for over an hour and a half. Like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting our channel, but other channels, and supporting yourself, because more content from content creators will start to show up that are similar that you might be interested in by liking the video. So like the video. Let's get to 800 likes. I'm going to get out of here and rest my voice because I'm still feeling a little getting there, though. Getting there. Have a great rest of your Thursday, guys. See you later for Dubai. Let's get out of here.